Have you ever wondered how one of the most powerful civilizations in the world could disappear? The Maya, the people who built the greatest pyramids, created unique calendars, and were ahead of their time. But suddenly, all of this vanished. Why? What happened to their great cities and incredible achievements? Do you think civilizations of such scale can't disappear? By the end, you'll find out how the great cities of the Maya were abandoned and how their legacy continues to live in the most unexpected places. Part 1. The birth of the civilization. The Maya civilization began to develop over 3,000 years ago in what is now Guatemala, Belize, Yucatan, and other parts of Central America. This process was not quick, and in the early centuries, the Maya consisted of several scattered tribes that gradually transitioned from a nomadic lifestyle to a settled one. Initially, these people engaged in hunting and gathering, but around 20 million 1000 BCE, agriculture began to develop. The foundation of agriculture included crops like maize, corn, squash, beans, and cocoa, which later became an important crop for the Maya and was even used as currency. During this time, the first permanent settlements began to form, where people built houses, agricultural structures, and simple tools. One of the early major settlements that became the center of the early Maya civilization was El Mirador. This site was discovered by archaeologists in 1926 and is now considered one of the most important objects for studying the early stages of Maya development. Large pyramids were not yet present here, but the first architectural elements, such as plazas and shelters, were emerging. Over time, the Maya began to develop not only agriculture, but also trade. Local tribes exchanged agricultural products, stone tools, pottery, and textiles. As these settlements grew, new technologies emerged, including brick construction and improved agricultural techniques such as terracing and irrigation systems. Part 2. Early history from villages to cities. With the development of agriculture and trade, starting around 1000 BC, the Maya civilization entered a new phase of the transition from small settlements to more complex cities. During this period, there was further specialization of labor and the strengthening of political structures, which led to the formation of the first city-states. The culmination of this period was the classic period around 250,900 CE, when the Maya built large, highly developed cities such as Tikal, Palenque, Copn, and Calakmul. These cities became major political, cultural, and religious centers, each with its own elite, rulers, and religious leaders. The success of the Maya cities lay in their complex governance systems and advanced infrastructure. In large cities, the Maya built ritual plazas, pyramids, palaces, as well as canal systems and aqueducts for water supply. One of the standout examples of such cities is Tikal, which was once the largest and most influential city in the region. Its pyramids and temples, such as the Temple of the Great Jaguar, still amaze archaeologists with their grandeur and engineering precision. In addition, during this period, the Maya actively developed writing and created one of the most sophisticated calendars, which included both solar and ritual cycles. This calendar played an important role in organizing agriculture and religious ceremonies. The Maya also began building roads, linking various cities for trade and the exchange of knowledge. These roads were used to transport goods like salt, cocoa, precious stones, and grain. But not only economy and infrastructure contributed to the growth of the cities. Religion played a central role, permeating all aspects of life. The Mayas' belief in gods associated with nature and the cosmos dictated their lifestyle and social structures. Their pyramids and temples served as sites for sacrifices and astronomical observations. With the development of cities, the Maya began to evolve into not only economic centers, but also spiritual and political ones, where kings and priests played a decisive role in decision-making. The most important rituals, aimed at maintaining order in the world and honoring the gods, were performed at the tops of the pyramids. Part 3. Life in the cities of beliefs, infrastructure, power. During the height of the Maya civilization, from 250 BCE to 900 CE, Maya cities became highly developed centers with powerful infrastructure and complex social structures. Life in these cities was not only organized in terms of economy and politics, but was also deeply tied to religion, which played a central role in everyday life. One of the most impressive features of the Maya cities were their pyramid-shaped temples, which were not only architectural landmarks, but also important religious and political symbols. These majestic structures were used for sacrificial rituals and astronomical observations, as well as for conducting important ceremonies related to agriculture, seasonal changes, and the cycle of time. At the tops of these pyramids stood temples where, according to Maya beliefs, gods could reside. Some of these temples, like those in Tikal or Palenque, still astonish with their size and the precision of their construction. Maya pyramids were not only sacred places, but also symbols of the connection between the heavens, the spiritual world, and the cosmos. A key element of life in Maya cities was social hierarchy. Society was divided into several classes, from kings and priests, who held both political and religious power, to artisans, traders, and farmers, who provided food and goods to support the functioning of the cities. Kings and priests had the power to determine people's fates, set laws, and organize rituals dedicated to the gods. These rulers were also seen as mediators between people and deities, and their role in society was crucial. Spirituality and religious rituals were inseparable from urban life. The Maya believed in a multitude of gods, each of whom was responsible for specific natural phenomena and aspects of life. Among them were gods of rain, harvest, sun, war, and death. The Maya believed that maintaining harmony with the gods through rituals and sacrifices was essential for ensuring the well-being of the people. The infrastructure of the cities was highly developed. In major centers, the Maya built roads to connect different cities and trade routes, and also used aqueducts and canals to provide water. One of their greatest engineering achievements was the terracing system on mountain slopes, which allowed for maximum agricultural use of the land. They also built ball courts, which were important for rituals and sports competitions. These courts, like the pyramids, had significant religious meaning and were used for ceremonies symbolizing the struggle between light and darkness. Maya cities were also important trade centers, where goods like cocoa, salt, shells, and precious stones were exchanged. Trade not only ensured economic prosperity, but also cultural communication between various Maya cities and peoples. Part 4. The sudden decline and the classic collapse. Around the 8th–9th century CE, the Maya civilization experienced an unexplained crisis that led to the decline and destruction of many cities. During this period, the largest cities in the southern part of the region, such as Tikal, Palenque, and Kop, began to disappear. This remains one of the greatest mysteries in Maya history, and modern scholars still debate the reasons behind this collapse. One of the main causes is believed to be drought, which lasted for several decades. Studies have shown that the Maya were heavily dependent on agriculture, and unfavorable climatic conditions severely affected crop yields. Drought destroyed crops, leading to famine and economic hardship. Another key factor was environmental issues. Deforestation for the expansion of territories and the excessive use of land led to soil depletion and a decrease in its fertility. On top of this, internal conflicts and wars between cities intensified, weakening social and political stability. All these factors together resulted in a sharp decline in the population, mass migration, and the fall of cultural centers, which ultimately led to the collapse of the classic Maya civilization. Part 5. Post-classic period and what remained. After the fall of many major cities in the 9th century CE, the Maya civilization did not disappear entirely. On the contrary, it adapted and continued to exist in other regions, primarily in northern Yukon. This period, known as the post-classic, spans from 950 to 1500 CE and is characterized by the rise of new cultural and political centers like Chichen Itza, Mayapan, and Uxmal. Despite the decline of southern cities, the Maya preserved their religion, culture, and technology. Chichen Itza became one of the most powerful and influential centers, famous for its pyramid structures, including the Pyramid of Kukulkan. It was a major political and religious hub, where temples and observatories continued to be built to track the movements of celestial bodies. The Maya continued to use their unique writing system and calendar, and their knowledge of astronomy and mathematics remained advanced. Trade and crafts flourished, and the social structure remained complex. However, with the arrival of Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century, the era of colonization began, which destroyed the Maya's independence. The last major resistance center, Najpid, was conquered in 1697, effectively ending the political independence of the Maya. However, their cultural heritage continues to live on to this day. Part 6. The end. Why did the pyramids and people disappear? While the Maya experienced the fall of their great cities, their pyramids and other architectural monuments did not disappear. They were swallowed by the jungle, but the structures remained, becoming subjects of archaeological research. The Maya people did not vanish. Instead, they adapted to new conditions, migrating and merging with other cultures. Modern descendants of the Maya continue to live in Mexico and Central America, preserving the language, traditions, and cultural heritage of their great civilization.